The unexpected contact, Commander Elena. Vasquez was reviewing routine patrol reports when the alarms began screaming throughout Luna Station. The coffee mug in her hand nearly slipped as red emergency lights bathed the command center in an ominous glow. Officers rushed past her office, their voices carrying urgent commands and barely contained panic. Elena set down her mug and strode quickly to the main operations center. The massive holographic displays showed something that made her heart skip. A beat. 12 enormous vessels had materialized at the edge of Earth's solar system, each one dwarfing anything humanity had ever constructed. Their sleek, angular designs gleamed with an otherworldly metal that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. "Commander, we're receiving transmission requests from the unknown fleet," announced Lieutenant David Park, his fingers dancing, across the communication console. Despite his youth, David had proven himself invaluable during his 3 years at Luna Station. His voice remained steady, but Elena could see the tension in his shoulders. "Put it through," Elena ordered, smoothing her uniform jacket. She had spent 15 years in the Earth Defense Force, rising through the ranks during humanity's expansion into space. But nothing in her experience had prepared her for first contact with an alien civilization. The main screen flickered, and an imposing figure appeared. The alien stood nearly 8 feet tall, with pale blue skin that seemed to shimmer in the light. 4 eyes were arranged symmetrically around a narrow head, and when the creature spoke, rows of sharp teeth became visible. Golden armor covered its torso, marked with symbols that hurt to look at directly. "Primitive inhabitants of the third planet," the alien began, its voice carrying through the station's speakers with mechanical precision. "I am War Master Zeth Chiron of the Thylorian Empire. Your world and all surrounding systems now belong to our domain." Elena stepped forward, ensuring she was visible on the return transmission. "This is Commander Elena Vasquez of the Earth Defense Force. We welcome contact with your civilization, but we cannot accept your territorial claims over our sovereign territory." The alien's 4 eyes focused on her with what might have been amusement. "You welcome contact? Child, we are not here to establish diplomatic relations. We are here to inform you of your new reality. The Thylorian Empire has ruled this galaxy for over 5,000 years. We have conquered more than 300 worlds." Around the command center, Elena's staff continued their work, but she could feel their attention focused on the conversation. These were good people, dedicated to protecting Earth and its colonies. They deserved to know exactly what they were facing. "Your technology appears impressive," Elena replied calmly. "However, humanity has never been known for accepting surrender. As our first option, perhaps we could discuss terms for peaceful coexistence." War Master Chiron's mandibles clicked in what Elena interpreted as laughter. "Peaceful coexistence? You misunderstand the situation entirely. We are offering you the privilege of survival. Most species do not receive such generosity." Elena glanced at her tactical display. The alien ships were maintaining position at the system's edge, their weapons systems apparently inactive. But their mere presence represented a threat unlike anything Earth had ever faced. Each vessel appeared to be the size of a small city, bristling with weapon arrays that defied easy classification. "What are your terms?" Elena asked, buying time, while her officers gathered data on the alien technology. "Simple and reasonable," Chiron replied. "First, humanity will surrender all military vessels and weapons to Thylorian forces. Second, Earth and its colonies will provide tribute in the form of raw materials and manufactured goods, equivalent to 40% of your total production. Third, human population will be limited to current levels, with all reproduction subject to Imperial oversight." Lieutenant Park looked up from his console with barely concealed alarm. Elena maintained her composure, but internally she was calculating the implications. 40% tribute would cripple human civilization within a decade. Population controls would end humanity's expansion into space. And surrendering their military would leave them completely defenseless. Fourth, Kieran continued, All human technological development will cease immediately. Your species will not be permitted to advance beyond your current capabilities without explicit imperial permission. Finally, human leaders will be replaced by Thylorian administrators who better understand galactic realities. Elena felt a cold anger building in her chest. These weren't terms for peaceful coexistence. They were terms for slavery. She looked around the command center at her officers, each one representing humanity's best and brightest. They had spent their lives pushing the boundaries of human achievement, exploring new worlds, developing technologies that would benefit all mankind. War Master Chiron, Elena said, her voice carrying new strength. I appreciate you taking the time to explain your position. However, I must respectfully decline your offer. The alien's four eyes widened in what appeared to be genuine surprise. Decline? You cannot decline. Do you not comprehend the forces arrayed against you? Each of our vessels carries enough firepower to sterilize your entire planet. Elena smiled, and it wasn't entirely pleasant. I comprehend perfectly. You have 12 ships, each one technologically superior to anything in our current fleet. You represent a civilization that has conquered hundreds of worlds. You have the power to destroy us completely. Then you accept our terms? No, Elena said simply. We decline. Chiron's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sound Elena was beginning to associate with agitation. This is unprecedented. No species has ever refused our initial offer. Your people must be suffering from some form of collective madness. Perhaps, Elena agreed cheerfully. Or perhaps we're just stubborn. Either way, our answer remains no. You have one standard galactic hour to reconsider, Chiron snarled. If you do not accept our terms by then, we will demonstrate why the Thylorian Empire has never been successfully resisted. The screen went black. Elena turned to face her staff, seeing a mixture of fear, confusion, and determination on their faces. Commander, Lieutenant Park said quietly, our sensor analysis suggests their weapon systems are indeed capable of planetary destruction. Their shield technology is unlike anything in our databases. Elena nodded. What about our forces? Current readiness status? Luna Station is at full operational capacity, reported Major Ching Wei, her tactical officer. The home defense fleet consists of 18 ships, currently distributed between Earth orbit and the outer system patrols. All vessels are equipped with our latest shield generators and adaptive weapon systems. Adaptive weapon systems? Elena mused. Have the Thylorians encountered those before? Unknown, Commander. But based on their technology signatures, I would guess they're using fairly traditional energy-based weapons and defensive systems. Their power output is enormous, but the underlying principles appear to be several decades behind our current developments. Elena felt a small spark of hope. Humanity's greatest strength had always been innovation. While other species might develop powerful technologies and stick with them for centuries, humans constantly improved, adapted, and evolved their systems. What's our communication status with Earth Defense Command? Full quantum link established, Park reported. They're monitoring this situation in real time. Admiral Morrison is standing by for your orders. Elena took a deep breath. Admiral James Morrison commanded Earth's Orbital Defense Network, but she knew he also had access to systems that weren't part of the public record. Humanity had been preparing for this possibility for decades, even if most people didn't know it. Send a message to Admiral Morrison, Elena instructed. Tell him we're declining the Thylorian offer and recommend he activate Protocol 7. Several officers looked confused, but Major Chen Wei's eyes widened in understanding. Protocol 7 was classified above most people's clearance level, but Elena knew it existed. It was humanity's contingency plan for exactly this scenario. Protocol 7 confirmed, Park reported after a moment. The Admiral acknowledges and will implement immediately. Elena looked at the tactical display showing the 12 alien ships. Waiting at the edge of their solar system, War Master Chiron probably expected them to spend the next hour in panicked deliberation. weighing their hopeless situation against the Thylorean demands. Instead, Alina poured herself a fresh cup of coffee and sat down to wait. In 50 minutes, the Thyloreans were going to learn something important about humanity. They were about to discover that saying no was just the beginning. "Commander," Lieutenant Park said nervously, "what happens in 50 minutes?" Elena smiled, sipping her coffee. "We find out whether the Thyloreans are as smart as they think they are." The first test, Captain Marcus Chen guided his reconnaissance ship, the Pathfinder, through the asteroid belt beyond Mars. His crew of 5 specialists had been monitoring the Thylorean fleet for the past 40 minutes, gathering intelligence on alien technology and battle capabilities. Marcus had 20 years of experience in deep space operations, but today felt different. Today, humanity would either prove itself or face extinction. "Captain, we're detecting movement from the alien fleet," reported Sergeant Lisa Torres from our sensor station. Lisa was their best electronic warfare specialist, capable hacking systems that most people couldn't even understand. Her fingers danced across holographic controls as data streamed across her displays. Marcus studied the tactical readout. 3 Kylorian vessels had separated from the main fleet and were accelerating toward the inner system. Each ship was roughly twice the size of the Pathfinder, their hulls gleaming with that strange light-absorbing metal. "Looks like they're sending scouts," observed Lieutenant Ryan Kim, the ship's pilot. Ryan was young but possessed an intuitive understanding of 3-dimensional combat that made him invaluable in situations like this. Standard patrol formation, moving at about 60% of their maximum velocity. Marcus nodded. The Thyloreans were being cautious, which gave him valuable information about their tactical thinking. They weren't reckless, but they also weren't expecting serious resistance from human forces. "Sarah, what's the status on our new toys?" Marcus asked, turning to Dr. Sarah Mitchell, the ship's science officer. Sarah had been working around the clock to integrate Earth's latest defensive technologies into their existing systems. "Adaptive shield matrix is online and calibrated," Sarah reported, her voice carrying barely contained excitement. "The quantum disruptor weapons are charged and ready. Marcus, these systems are unlike anything we've ever deployed before. The aliens won't know what hit them." The Pathfinder's communication system crackled to life. "Human vessel, this is Sub-Commander Vex Thyron of the Imperial Scout Division. You will power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded. Resistance will result in your immediate destruction." Marcus activated the return transmission. "Sub-Commander, this is Captain Marcus Chen of the Earth vessel Pathfinder. We're conducting routine patrol operations in our own solar system. You are welcome to observe, but we will not be powering down our systems." The alien's image appeared on their main screen. Vex Thyron was smaller than War Master Chiron, with the same pale blue skin, but fewer ceremonial markings. His 4 eyes regarded Marcus with what appeared to be mild annoyance. "Captain Chun, you do not seem to understand your situation. Your primitive vessel poses no threat to Imperial forces. Comply immediately or face the consequences." Marcus looked around at his crew. These weren't just skilled officers. They were his friends. They had trained together, served together, and trusted each other completely. He could see determination in every face. "Sub-Commander, I'm afraid we'll have to decline your invitation," Marcus replied calmly. "However, if you'd like to test your assumptions about our capabilities, we're ready to accommodate you." Vex Thyron's mandibles clicked in what Marcus was learning to recognize as Kylorian laughter. "Very well. Your courage is admirable, even if it is foolish. Prepare to be enlightened about the true nature of galactic power." The 3 Thylorian ships moved into attack formation, their weapons systems powering up with visible energy discharges. Marcus could see plasma cannons extending from their hulls, along with what appeared to be particle beam projectors. "All stations, battle ready," Marcus announced. "Sarah, initialize the adaptive systems. Lisa, prepare electronic countermeasures. Ryan, give me evasive patterns delta through gamma." The first Thylorean ship fired, sending a stream of superheated plasma toward the Pathfinder. Ryan threw the ship into a spiraling dive that would have been impossible with conventional propulsion systems. The plasma burst missed by hundreds of meters, but Marcus could feel the heat even through their shields. Interesting, Sarah murmured, studying her readings. Their weapons are powerful but predictable. The targeting systems appear to be designed for fighting other aliens who use traditional flight patterns. Can we exploit that? Marcus asked, as Ryan continued evasive maneuvers that seemed to defy physics. Already working on it, Lisa replied. Their computer systems are incredibly sophisticated but extremely rigid. They're not designed to adapt to unconventional tactics. The second and third Thylorian ships joined the attack, filling space around the Pathfinder with energy weapons. Fire, but Ryan's piloting kept them clear of danger, using techniques no alien pilot had ever encountered. Now would be a good time for those new weapons. Marcus suggested as another plasma burst past uncomfortably close to their position. Sarah activated the quantum disruptor array. Instead of visible beams or projectiles, the weapon sent out waves of energy that interfered with matter at the subatomic level. The effect on Thylorian shields was immediate and dramatic. What is happening? Vex Theron's voice carried panic as his flagship's shields flickered and failed. This is impossible. Our shields are impervious to all known weapon types. The other two Thylorian ships suffered similar shield failures as the quantum disruptors continued their assault. But Marcus had given strict orders about minimizing casualties. Target their weapon systems and engines, he instructed. Disable, don't destroy. Lisa launched her electronic warfare attack simultaneously. Human computer viruses, designed specifically to exploit the rigid nature of Thylorian systems, began infiltrating alien networks. Navigation computers crashed, weapon targeting systems malfunctioned, and communication arrays went offline. Their entire battle network is collapsing, Lisa reported with satisfaction. These aliens have never faced adaptive cyber warfare before. Their security protocols are centuries out of date. Within minutes, all three Thylorian ships were drifting helplessly. In space, their weapons were offline, their engines were disabled, and their communication systems were compromised. But their crews were alive and unharmed. Marcus opened a channel to the disabled fleet. Sub-Commander Thyron, this is Captain Chun. Your vessels are disabled but intact. Your crews are unharmed. We'll be happy to provide assistance with repairs. If you'd like to reconsider your aggressive approach, Vex Tyron's image appeared on screen again. But now his expression showed confusion and something that might have been fear. How did you do this? Your technology should be inferior to ours? In every way. We have conquered hundreds of worlds with these same vessels. Maybe the problem isn't with your ships, Marcus suggested gently. Maybe the problem is with your assumptions about who you're fighting. This is not possible, Tyron insisted. You are a young species, barely capable of interplanetary travel. Our intelligence reports indicated you possess only primitive weapons and basic defensive systems. Sarah looked up from her console with a slight smile. Captain, I'm detecting massive power signatures from the direction of Earth. It looks like Admiral Morrison is activating the orbital defense network. Marcus nodded. The real show was about to begin, and these three disabled scout ships would have front row seats to watch humanity reveal its true defensive capabilities. Sub-Commander, Marcus said, I recommend you contact your War Master immediately. Tell him that what just happened here was a friendly demonstration. If he proceeds with his invasion plans, he's going to encounter forces that make our little ship look like a toy. Vex Tyron stared at Marcus through the screen, his 4 eyes wide with dawning comprehension. You ... you were holding back. It wasn't your full capability. Not even close, Marcus confirmed cheerfully. This was just a patrol ship with basic defensive equipment. We haven't even shown you our military yet. As if to emphasize his point, sensors detected 12 more human vessels approaching from various directions. Each ship was larger than the Pathfinder and bristling with weapon systems that Thylorian sensors couldn't identify. I must report to War Master Chiron immediately, Darren said, his voice barely above a whisper. He must know that our intelligence was completely wrong. Marcus watched as the Stylorian ships began emergency repairs to their communication systems. Soon, War Master Chiron would learn that his scouts had been defeated without a single human casualty. The question was whether the Thylorian commander would be smart enough to reconsider his invasion plans. Captain, Ryan said quietly, do you think they'll withdraw? Marcus studied the distant alien fleet on their long-range sensors. Probably not. Aliens like these don't stay in power for 5,000 years by backing down from fights. But now, they know we're not helpless. What happens next? Asked Sarah. Marcus smiled as he watched the massive energy signatures building around Earth. Now they get to see what our real military looks like.